Don't pick at... Looks like you have a message waiting for you.
Wow, a message for me. I must be getting popular. I wonder what it is.
Roger, help me. I only have a moment. They faked.
Stellar, what happened? The picture's gone. You're alive?
You get fingerprints.
All fleas, abandon ship! All fleas, abandon ship! Rotate 60 degrees. Tilt forward 22 degrees. Hard to starboard. Evasive maneuvers.
Apparently the command center only responds to Kielbasa's commands. That's Commander Kielbasa's command center. No, wait. It's his scratching post. No, it's his command center. Scratching post. Wait, kids, don't fight. It's both. That's Dorf, the ship's chief. With these controls, Commander Kielbasa can adjust the elevation, tilt, rotation, and firmness level of his command center. And if you put in a quarter, it'll massage 320 different acupressure points. With these controls, Commander Kielbasa can override navigational subsystems, access ship-wide computer functions, perform sensor sweeps, and get to level 6 of Super Nunzio World. That's the schematic diagram of Deep Ship 86. That's the communication officer. The main view screen is filled with stars and distant galaxies, representing untold scores of civilizations and a vast amount of untapped knowledge that could reshape the way we think of time and space. But more importantly, you're proud to notice that your new squeegee didn't leave any streaks. Your words cause everything to become speechless. How dynamic of you. Your words are so unspectacular, nature doesn't even see fit to grant it an echo.
Commander Kielbasa, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I've just received a distress message on my compost. And it was from Stellar.
Wilco, have you been whiffing cleaning fluid again?
I'm absolutely as sane as I've ever been. She's being held on Delta Berxilon by Sharpay.
Wilco, do you realize how irrational that sounds? We buried Stella. You were there. Maybe you need a rest. Take a couple of hours off.
Sir!
Wilco, we have our orders from StarCon and we'll be carrying them out. Drop it, Janitor. Leave the bridge now, Wilco. I've made my decision.
You get fingerprint. Magnum opus belongs to an elite StarCon fighting forces called the Flying Flingers, FF for short. A nice fatty donut. Magnum will probably scarf this down. After all, he needs to maintain his boyish tub-o'-guts figure. That's Chesbro, one of the shuttle bay guards. This handy-dandy scrolling board announces incoming and outgoing shuttles. During the quieter stretches, it's also used to display the scores when they hold donkey basketball games in the shuttle bay. You consider saying hi until you remember how dedicated he is to his job, and you wouldn't want him to get in trouble for slacking off while on duty. I wonder why you don't worry about that for yourself. Magnum doesn't talk. He fancies himself to be like one of those Buckingham Palace types.
Welcome to Hollow Suite Program 5551212, the Vulgar Nerve Pinch. Despite our reputation for being pacifist, we Vulgars have developed an extremely practical martial arts technique used mainly for defensive purposes. It is called the Vulgar Nerve Pinch. This is a tactile oral maneuver in which the applier pinches the bundle of nerve fibers at the base of the neck while whispering into the victim's ear dialogue from either Tango and Cash or Hudson Hawk. This particular combination of nerve stimuli and loss of cerebral control due to the torturous mantra of movie dialogue results in a searing flash of pain and then unconsciousness. In effect, it is similar to a temporary orally induced robotomy. Victims are soon rendered unconscious for several hours. When they awaken, they will remember nothing of how they came to be unconscious, if they are extremely lucky. I shall demonstrate on my most eager volunteer. You will please to pay attention. Address the subject in this manner. Please to notice the location of my hand as I begin the narcotic chant of cinematic morphine.
He mutters something thankfully unintelligible into the ear of the volunteer.
Oh, thank you, sir. Maybe you can fit me up with your sister. I kept all the way up to her and we're gonna have margaritas together. Oh, the two of us get we have fun. Oh, get a hubba going in the whee. And I just like that. We
So, as you can see, it is very effective. If you can apply a proper grip to the neck, it will disable 9 out of 10 neck-bearing species. This completes our program. Thank you very much.
You get fingerprints on. You consider saying hi. I wonder why you don't worry about that for your...
Ooh, boy, I got you with my fingers in your Kurt Russell. Now you can't get away. I got you now that you've got a... Hard to believe this is a real job. Oh, my God. So how come you're not going down? I got you with your mumble jumbo and your hobbit chubby. Ooh, boy, if I only could, I would. Jeez, why don't you step outside, pal? I got you with this. And, I think I broke a fingernail here.
That would be Dorf, the nearsighted and fairly clueless security chief. It's a hovercraft for transporting replicated food.
This is some very fine food, whatever it is. I'm sure you'll find it quite to your liking. Heck, it's probably better than what they feed you janitors. Live it up! Oh, that darn light needs to be amplified. I need to contact maintenance.
It's a hovercraft. What are you, plastic man? You can't possibly... The only way you'll be able to see that is if you stick your head far enough through the pipes, but you'd probably drown. Home sweet home, until you figure out how to get out of here and away from that nearsighted security guard.
This is some very fine food.
It's one of the interestingly shaped pastries you took from the food cart.
Cool. Bobbit kebabs. They whip up some interesting food items in this joint.
It's the donut you filched from the food cart. It's a plate of grill hair spaghetti. It's a nice round melon.
I remember what this is. It's a rack of Orat. Haven't seen this stuff since Space Quest 1.
It's a tuberous growth of some sort from the food cart. These look like something they cleaved from the side of Yoda's head. Careful, combining those items might cause a rip in the space-time continuum, a tear in the very fabric of space itself, or not. Careful, combining those Careful, nothing happens. See? Careful, combining those items. What was that supposed... You poke it and prod it and generally make it feel like a piece of meat. You get fingerprint. What was that supposed... What was... Careful, nothing happens. See, most games would just give you a generic response when you try something useless like that. But we've custom-tailored this. In this galaxy. Now it has some cool ears. The rack of a rat adds a nice touch. In this galaxy, those two items don't do anything together. An interesting idea. Something's starting to take shape. What are you up to, Roger? Careful, combining those. A touchment of that adds something more to your work in progress. How creative. That's a nice touch. You marvel at how much more handsome this prisoner looks compared to the last one.
Whoa, I see you have a visitor. I'll leave you two alone, but you know the rules. 10 more minutes and they have to leave.
Yikes, it's a good thing Dorf's so vain about wearing his prescribed much thicker glasses. That was too close. I nearly dampened an undergarment.
You are very fortunate to not be a prisoner on one of those Cervic cruisers. They'd have you eating your... Oh, heck, never mind. You don't need to hear that right before you eat, that's for sure. Ooh, I do go on a little.
Nice work. Sometimes you actually surprise me. You don't need 2 donuts. Trust me. He ignores you. What did you expect him to do? He helped you, and it's time for you to move along. We have adventuring to do. It wouldn't be prudent to do that at this juncture. Many things rest on the center console. Most of them are... It's a case of something you don't care about. It's a cabinet. It's a bottle of morphine. It's the donut you filched from the food cart. Good thinking. It's the donut you filched. it's your old non-organic friend, Circuit Sydney. An unusual plant specimen that someone left behind, it appears to be thriving here. Perhaps it prefers beer and popcorn to fertilizer and you grow it lamps. And we thought the Elvis 1987 poster in our office was tasteless. A couple of female crew members, neither of which have ever given you the time of Star Day, are sitting and gabbing away, completely ignoring the poor slob who sat down to introduce himself. Don't worry, that would never happen to you. A peaceful panorama of light, color, and limitless black space drifts quietly by the window, the infinite flow and ebb of matter and energy dancing around itself in a never-ending light show of creation.
I want to see something blow up.
The anti-grav seats make sure you're always the proper distance from the table and that you're never short of legroom. Under normal circumstances, such as while you're supposed to be working, you'd feel free to sit down and drink and eat to your heart's content. But duty calls.
Hello, Roger. Please join me in consuming something.
Thanks, Sydney.
You seem uptight.
Say what? Upright? What are you talking about, Sydney?
Uptight was the word. Perhaps that is too archaic a reference for you. It would have been more effective to say that you seem concerned.
Oh, yeah. I do have a thing or two, well, at least something on my mind.
I am sorry to hear this. I hope your concerns are soon alleviated.
Thanks, Sid. I do have to come up with some solutions. Sydney, I have a favor I'd like to ask of you.
Flame away, Roger. You know I'd give you my right appendage if you needed it.
Funny you should say that, Sydney. I kind of have this situation where that very item could come in handy.
Really? Well, I was merely saying that metaphorically.
You really are a great friend, Sydney. That'll come in real handy. I can't thank you enough, Sydney.
Well, if you really are seriously in need of it, I suppose I could lend it to you. You will get it right back to me, won't you, Roger?
Oh, yeah. You bet your nut flanges, Sydney.
My, this guy would give Sybil a run for her money.
Ooh, boy, I got you with my fingers in your Kurt Russell. Now you can't get away. I got you now that you've got a hard to believe this is a real job. Oh my God. So how come you're not going down? I got you with your mumble jumbo and your hobbit chubby. Ooh, boy, if I only could, I would. Jeez, why don't you step outside, pal? I got you with this. And, I think I broke a fingernail here.
Smooth move. You've got his keyring. Yep, he's non-functional, all right. I really don't think that's a good idea. He's not the touchy-feely type. This handy-dandy scrolling board announces incoming and outgoing shuttles. During the quieter stretches, it's one of two buttons you must push simultaneously to open the shuttle bay door. A mint-condition 57 Gateway Bel Air with mag thrusters, overhead lifters, and 4-pod barrels. It's a key with a little button thingy attached to it. The shuttle's alarm is now deactivated. The shuttle's alarm. It's a standard Starcon shuttle built for speed and maneuverability. Unfortunately, with a budget of only 550,000 buckazoids, they had to leave off certain amenities, like airtight seals, decent shields, and restrooms. This Tiberian skimmer may look intimidating, but it's seriously underpowered. And that clear steel compound cockpit is particularly vulnerable to meteorites, baryon radiation, and large insects. This baby's a sleek streak Corsair with push-button tranny and dual airbags. These balsa wood shuttles are really maneuverable, but they don't last 2 seconds in a phaser battle. What a beauty! A true museum-quality McKinley Ultramarine Blue Runner.
It will be mine. Oh yes, it will be mine.
In your dreams. Some guy wearing a Delco air filter on his face parked this shuttle. This Kiapian runabout strikes fear into the heart of the Japaxian Empire. It's a good compact shuttle for under 8,500 buckazoids. Some woman driver parked her shuttle here and contaminated the whole deep ship with these acid-bleeding, multi-jawed exoskeletal aliens, and you had a really huge mess to clean up. Just for that, Kielbasa refused to validate her parking slip. You hear a disembodied voice saying, "Remember your parking space, Luke." This refueling pillar signifies parking section F8. Instead of F8, this post used to have a picture of a large cartoon mouse, but Starcon removed it after being threatened with legal action by the same company that lost its shirt on Andromeda Disney, the first amusement park on Andromeda. As cool as it would be to interface these two items, the shuttle's alarm is now deactivated. If you were aiming for the shuttle hatch, you missed. But if you just wanted to inspect the hull of the shuttle for microfractures and embedded particulate matter, you were incredibly successful. This tank of emergency oxygen serves an incredibly important purpose. It ensures that the shuttle's hatch makes a neat hissing sound when it opens and closes. This is the shuttle hatch. This is the shuttle cockpit. You sit here. You will be smart. You will make it go. You will make things work. It's the recall notice. It's the recall. It's the recall. It's the recall notice. It's the recall notice for the owner's manual. It reads, "Dear Ham Shuttle Owner, it has come to our attention that there is a minor misprint in the owner's manual for the 1000 series of shuttles. Until a new manual can be acquired, please disregard page 73, paragraph 4 of that manual." It feels slightly gritty. Don't touch that. We don't know. This is the shuttle's cockpit. All the action takes place right here. This is the main cockpit display. You might want to fire up the sucker before you try that. It's just another in the array of displays you are totally mystified by. This is the shuttle. This is the It appears to be the shuttle's version of a glove box. It reminds you of one of those hand pumps you use when the astrohead plugs up. It's a tube of Elmo's Gluzol. It's the most indispensable item in the universe, duct tape. This is the intermix confirmation display. Once the proper 4 elements have been selected along with the proper confirmation code, the shuttle is ready to fly. What can be said that isn't painfully obvious? This is the photo triangulation system unit. It houses the optics as well as the print recorder and ejector. The shuttle's alarm is now activated. You can feel the rumble of the ship's engines. It's so nice to know all those hamsters are down in engineering, running their little hearts out.
Sydney, I kind of need another favor. I need one of your eyes.
Pardon me, Roger. For a second, I thought you said you also wanted one of my eyes. I must have my auditory circuits diagnosed.
Well, actually, Sydney, I could use one of your eyes.
Are you certain, Roger? Well, I guess if you really need it.
Oh, I do. I really do, Sydney. You're a mechanized lifesaver.
You will return them soon, right, Roger?
Oh, of course, Sydney. Real soon. Listen, I've got a couple of things I've got to attend to. I'll see you soon. Thanks, Sydney.
As long as you say it will be soon, Roger.
Oh, yeah. See you soon, Sydney.
This is Sydney's left eye. The shuttle's alarm is not... These are the seats for the pilot and navigator, built of a semi-translucent gel foam that molds itself to the shape of whoever's sitting in it. The semi-transparency also makes it easier to spot loose change and crumbs that have fallen between the cushions.
Who in the world left all this trash in here? Isn't somebody supposed to clean up the shuttle when it comes back from a mission? Oh, wait, that's me. On second thought, it doesn't look so bad, after all.
Someone must have been fixing the diagnostic relays. That wouldn't prove fulfilling.
Let's see if this sucker works.
Hey! Here's your fish!
Janitor Wilco, what are you doing? You have no authorization to take that shuttle. To make matters worse, you have launched into the middle of a super double reverse anti-anomaly. You will turn that ship around immediately and head back to the shuttle bay. Do you understand, Wilco?
Bite me, Commander.
What was that last transmission, Wilco?
We're having a little problem with the signal, sir. I mean, with all due respect, sir, I did plead with you not to leave Stellar behind. Sir, I sense that something's just not right with that community. I don't believe Stellar is dead, and I just can't leave her there. I'm going to do this, sir, regardless of the consequences. Stellar saved my life not once, but twice. I owe her.
Well, that was her own stupid mistake. I demand that you return at once, Wilco. If you do so and surrender now, your record will be taken into consideration during your disciplinary hearing.
Oh, that'll help you loads.
I'm sorry, sir, but I just can't. I have to do this.
Wilco, you fool!
Just then, the shuttle is sucked into the anti-anomaly. Communication with the deep ship has been disrupted.